Welcome to the show titled Conversation with A. Here we focus on the role behind the person to give you, the viewers, some insight into how to operate in their world. Hello, my name is Tefo, and today we have
Tefo. You might have my tag.
I Tefo made this one.
We recently had Mason here who gave his explanation on this question. So I'd like to know your answer. How would you explain the art of producing?
The art of producing. I think it's different for each individual, but all it is just like it's all about creating something that no one's made before, and then just falling in love with it. Because you just start making a beat, you might just hear a little melody, and you like that melody, and then you just add some drums to it, add a few counters to it, and you just create this thing that no one else has made, and then someone else rapping on it, telling that story, and then like millions of people hearing that. Just it's a great feeling if you think about it.
You've mainly produced drill beats. So what is the appeal?
It all started is because before I still do other genres, trap and rap and everything, but it's because I just fell in love with making drill beats, the whole process of it, the whole like sound design, the way you do the 808s, and just the patterns in general, because they're different to any other genre, and it's just an upcoming genre in the UK, and it's just reaching out to different countries worldwide, if you think about it, the US and Australia.
So how can someone tell what a drill beat is?
Yeah, so with drill, it's just, I would say it's the patterns we do in drill and just the sound selection and the different melodies we go for in comparison to other genres. And the way it just all comes together with the different types of mixing. Yeah.
So, when did you decide you wanted to become a producer?
I wouldn't say it was like one day I just decided, I want to be a producer. Just that I was young, I was just involved in music. I used to play in a band because I play bass. And then I would play a bit of guitar, and then just with my mates just playing in the band. And then I slowly just dove into the technology side of it, and then started messing about, and then just got into producing, just watching YouTube videos, and then started doing it.
You know, Mason said a similar thing where he said he knows how to play an instrument. So, is playing an instrument key or useful for a producer?
Not necessarily, because not everyone plays instruments. It's more so about your ear, I would say, and what you've listened to growing up, and your decision making. But it's not necessary, but it does help. It comes in handy, but it's not necessary. But I would recommend it, obviously, but it's not needed to an extent.
So did you go to any music school, take any courses, or was everything self-taught?
Yeah, I went to music. I studied music in college, but throughout school I did music in secondary school and stuff. But mostly in the past it was just me learning how to play instruments, and then the whole production side is me teaching myself, watching YouTube videos, and then eventually deciding, I want to learn more about this, and then I did it in college. But that course is more so about the live side of it, learning how to like record people and live events and stuff like that. But then I just stuck to it and just started learning, watching YouTube, and just learning from my mates as well.
So, what software and equipment do you use to produce?
I use FL Studio currently, but I first started in GarageBand. But yeah.
Without going into too much detail, how much roughly does all this equipment and software cost?
It depends, I would say, because when I first started, I just started on an old computer I had at home. I just found some software online and just started messing about with that. But I would say, just begin with, I just bought a cheap laptop for like £300, and then worked on that. And then once I got to like a decent level where I thought I love this and I'm going to keep doing it, I spent a bit more on like a gaming laptop which has better specs, which can handle better VSTs, which will help with my production. So I would say like you need that's at least £1,000 for a decent laptop, or £500 for a decent laptop, which is good specs and some headphones and some decent speakers.
And how long have you been producing for?
I would say a couple of years. I've just lost track. A couple of years, but I haven't recently it's been serious. Since the last year, I've taken it seriously, I would say. But before that, I was just doing it for fun as a hobby. Because it's all started as a hobby. Never thought I'd be like working with all these artists. It was just more of a hobby that I fell in love with and just kept doing and stuck after it.
In that time frame, who are some of the artists you produce for?
Yeah, so far I've worked with artists such as Crankface, the OFB, Bando, Double L's, the 9-8s, like everyone 9-8s, V9, Jimmy, Unknown T, yeah, and the 410, AM, Skendo, but yeah.
What was that one song that you produced which got your name recognized?
I would say either the V9 Daily Duffy second part, because I did the second Daily Duffy, I did the second beat for that, or the Crankface Swing It. Those two, I would say.
So when you first started off, how did you get your music in the hands of artists?
Yeah, I would say I'm still obviously new to everything. I'm still learning as you go. But the way I got my beats to artists is just if I saw the Instagram story, send beats, I'll try find an email on the bio, or if I put an email on the snap, I'll just try to get that and just send them beats and see if they see it. But I post beats now and then on YouTube as well. But it's mostly just trying to find emails and sending them beats, or just trying to reach out to artists in the DMs. Most of the time they don't respond, but you might get lucky, so you might have to just try. It's a hit or miss.
So how about now? Do you produce a beat with an artist in mind, or do you just produce a beat and see who was selected?
More time, it's just I'll be at home chilling, and then I'll just start a beat. As I'm going through the process, I might just like start just hearing lyrics in my head of like a particular artist I was listening to. I'll be like, oh, they could sound good on this, and then like I'll try sending it to them. If they don't see it, just send it out to other people and see if they like it.
So what about when you're in the studio? Do you ever just sit with an artist and create songs from scratch?
Yeah, me and Mason do that quite a lot because we go into the studio with artists and then we just sit there with them and make the beat especially for them. And then they'll say, oh, we don't like this element of the beat, could you change that? And then we just work with them, just talking, and then we create something that they're happy with and then try and make a good song.
Without going into detail, how do you make money as a producer?
As a producer, obviously it's the placements, getting your beats to artists, and then either the upfront payment or leases, or even just like some producers sell drum kits as a way to make revenue as well, and then some people just do paid collabs with other smaller producers as a way to make income as well. But it just depends. But it's just mostly the exclusives and revenue from the back with KRS.
So how do you deal with situations where you've produced a beat for an artist and they haven't released it yet?
I know that comes with the whole producing role, but it gets to points where they take a long time for them to get back to you or let you know what's happening with the song. But it's annoying, but to an extent you just have to wait because they'll be recording loads of songs, working on projects. So if it makes the take, or make the take, but if it doesn't, it's a disappointment and it feels like a waste of a beat, but it comes with the role, I guess. You have to enjoy it. Yeah, struggle of a producer, I'll say.
So what goes through your mind when you produce a beat for a song and the song doesn't perform as well as you thought it would?
Can be disappointing if the song's a banger and you feel like, oh, this deserves a lot more views. But at the same time, obviously what we hear and what other people might hear is different. But it's disappointing, but it comes with it because not everything you think is great will be great. Because a beat you think is terrible could be an artist's favorite beat. They might hop on that. It could be a hit. So everyone's views are different.
So how do you deal with instances where the artist's view on how a beat sounds differs from yours?
I would say the way to deal with different views on the beat between you and the artist is to listen to what they're saying and just obviously explain your point of view and what you hear. Because obviously you both have different ears and the artist will be looking for a certain thing for the sort of vibe and the sound as an artist because each artist is different. So it's trying to give them what they need, but at the same time give them extra of what you have as a producer, a different sound, or a different kind of style of beat in comparison to what they did before, so they don't keep doing the same thing. So it's just about just talking together and just trying to make something that works for both of you.
So are you independent or are you part of a record label or management team?
Currently, I'm independent, but obviously me and Mason are managed by Bermuda Music, who are helping us at the moment.
So how does being managed benefit you as a producer?
Pretty much it's just like helping us get studio sessions, helping us just like getting reach with artists we wouldn't be able to get in reach with because they have the connections, and then just helping us with the business side of all of it. Because obviously what we do is make beats, we concentrate on that, and then they deal with everything else.
And when you produce beats, where do you get the inspiration from?
I guess I would say it just depends what mood I'm in that day. But I want to make something dark or sad, and then it just goes from there. And then if I like certain elements, I'll just hear something in my head. I'll be like, oh, that'll sound good there. This little pocket here, I'll add this there, and then it just all comes together. And then like, especially if you're collabing with producers as well, you can learn different things. Like when I'm working with Mason, like the way he does something differently, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And then it just changes your whole view of the whole art of producing, like, because everyone's different, and it's just about blending it all together to make something, and just like how it makes you feel in a way. Because at the end of the day, you want to make a good beat.
So how often do you stay up working on a beat?
Obviously the goal is to try and make a beat every day, but obviously that's not always the case. But I'll say I try to do it all the time, but obviously life, you might get tired, you might have to go out. But I would say majority of the time I try to do it, but there's times where you have to have a break, because otherwise you're gonna burn out as well.
Have there been instances where you're working on a beat and you just couldn't finish it, so you came back to it months later or a year later?
Yeah, recently I've been trying, because in the past I would make a beat if I didn't like it, or just not save it, or just save it and not come back to it. But I would say recently I've been trying to come back to the projects and just try to finish them. You might send it out, you could get lucky, someone might hop on it, because you never know what they like, because everyone's ears are different.
When you began producing, did your friends and family support you?
My friends and family were just supportive, because obviously I've been doing music as I've been growing up, so it's just another part elevated to that. When they saw it, they're just supportive with me and just tried to help me and ask me how all it is.
So, what has been the best drill beat you've ever heard that you did not produce?
Best drill beat I've ever heard.
That you did not produce.
I'm not sure, but I feel like with me, at the moment my favorite is Fuji Valowski. I like that beat, but I like the whole song in general and the beat. It just all works all together. It's just like it's in harmony. But I'll say that's my favorite at the moment. But it just comes and goes and changes. But yeah.
Finally, something we asked all our guests. What song would you like to include in our playlist?
I would say In the Trap by TPO.
In the Trap.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is it for today. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show. Yo, I'm Tefo, and you've been tuned into Sonic TV. Thank you for having me.
I Tefo made this one.
If you want to be part of the show or are interested in any advertising and sponsorship opportunities, the links are in the description. If you've enjoyed this video, please do comment, like, share, and subscribe.